Hello everybody. I hope you can hear me. I am continually... Okay, it looks like we... Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I actually don't even have headphones on. Okay, can you hear me? Can hear you. Okay. Does it sound okay? Oh my goodness. Okay, sounding okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a challenge. In fact, 5 minutes ago, it was not working. And I did a test 30 minutes ago, and it was working. Right now, and I did some troubleshooting today. I'm not saying I figured it out completely, but baby steps. Let's hope it does not cut out on us randomly here. But I'm watching your comments come in the chat. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Carl, Joey, Kurt, Rodrigo, Chris, Liam, Marshall, Kieran. Oh my goodness. If you could, as we get going here, actually, I'm going to do the same right now. I'm going to share the link on my Facebook. I was a little nervous about sharing it before now because, you know, I wasn't sure if it was going to work. So hold on one second. If you could, spread this link around and then we will get going. It is 7 o'clock right on the dot. It's a minor miracle. And I'm not saying I figured it out completely yet, but let me just share this real quick for everybody on Facebook. Okay, and then I'll post it on Twitter as well. I would appreciate it if you guys, oh, just thank you. And let's start, actually, I always like to start with the question, where is everyone from? So if you could let us know where you're from, what country, if you want to share what city you're from, because I know there's people literally watching from around the world, that would be awesome. And okay, I'm just going to publish this on Facebook here real quick. And then I'm going to hop over to Twitter. Thank you so much for your patience. And just so you know, oh, interesting, it already posted on Twitter. All right. So let me just jump back over here. And again, welcome to everyone. New Jersey, Sheffield, Colorado, Honolulu, Manhattan. Wow, you live in the big city. Simpsonville, South Carolina. That's what I'm talking about. Iowa, Tampa, Florida, Glasgow, Kentucky, Ohio again, Detroit, Manitoba, welcome, Maine, I love it, I love it, I love it, Belgium, oh, it's late in Belgium, well, thanks for staying up late or waking up really early. Okay, Japan, oh my goodness, Rapid City, South Dakota, oh my goodness, and yes, the key word for this live stream is persevere. And again, I'm not saying I have figured this live streaming business out completely, but we're going to make progress here tonight and hopefully even get better for next week. So thank you again for your patience. If you're watching the rerun, make sure you hit up persevere down in the comments. Australia, Mississippi, Florida, oh my goodness, from all over. Okay. Where to begin? Now that we are live here, I also want to ask the question at the beginning, how was everyone's run today? Did you run today? How was your run? Maybe share what you did in the chat box. That'd be amazing. And again, if you're new to a live stream, you can do a super chat, and that way your comment is highlighted. You just hit that little $sign, just so you know, just so you know. All right, Justin did 5 miles. Good job, Justin. Blue collar runner, felt wonderful. Let's see, recovery run for Dokut Agurin. Skylar, about to run after this. Nice, awesome. It was great from Jason, did a 3-mile threshold. Justin, very slippery. Yes, it was slippery here as well in Denver. It snowed today. All right, let's see. Kriya did 10K. Carl didn't run, black ice everywhere. Carl, smart man, smart man. Joey, 3.5 miles at lunch. Awesome. Cowboy, 8-mile recovery run. Matthew, physical therapist has allowed me to run 15 to 20 minutes straight, and I'm feeling strong. That's good news. Matthew, 10K, out and back, 2-mile. IT band issues. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear. Oh, man, maybe we can talk about that here in a little bit. Jared, so much snow in Ohio. Okay. So, Madon, 8 miles. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for being here. And as we get going, let me just take a quick drink of water, and then we're going to dive into the topics for the evening, as well as the New Balance box. A lot of questions came in this week on Instagram and through email, so it's working out really well. If you have questions for me to send to me before the live stream, don't hesitate to send them to me through Instagram or email. I'm getting them both. A couple people commented on Strava, and I'll do my best to monitor that as well. All right, I'm just going to take a quick drink, then we're going to dive in. Just welcome everybody. It's so awesome. Liam, 4x800. Woo! Okay. Here we go. All right. I actually, to make sure we don't miss any of the questions from the New Balance box, I actually want to start with this tonight, and they came in quite a bit this week. So here we go. From Jason. How do you deal with animals on the trails or in neighborhoods? Having been bitten twice while out running, I'm curious if you've yet run into this situation. Jason. And I'm going to put this question to everyone else out there watching as well. Have you ever been chased down by an animal? I hope not. I have. Probably the scariest thing I have seen is a moose. So I've never seen actually, I take that back. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. I saw a black bear in Boulder, Colorado, probably about 15 feet away from me. I wasn't crazy scared because the bear was definitely more interested in the trash rather than me. Like, if I would have seen the bear out in the wild, that would have been a different discussion. So Jason, I've never been bitten by an animal while running, but that is a good question. Thank you for that question. A dog ran after you, Cassie. Oh, I'm sorry. Deer almost hit me on a trail this winter. Oh my goodness, that is not good. Okay. Okay, next question from the New Balance box. And again, these questions were sent to me via email or on Instagram. What are junk miles, and how do I determine if any of my miles are junk miles? That is from Jared. And I think that is a great question, junk miles, and it's a big topic, Jared. But I will just say, I'll say this much. I like as everyone knows, I like my easy days to be easy and my hard days to be hard. And basically, like today, I'll just share what I did today. I ran 15 miles. It was the longest run of 2019 so far. And for everyone outside the US, that's a 25K. And I averaged 7 minutes and 45 seconds a mile. That was the goal for the day. I actually was hoping for about 7:30 a mile, but it snowed, so that slowed me down a little bit. And that was a good, solid, middle distance to long distance run for me. But I am of the opinion that, for me personally, 8 minute to 9 minute pace is kind of falls into that junk mile pacing. For my easy days, as you know, I really like to go 9 to 10 minute pace, really slow, just chilling out, really letting the legs totally relax. So if I'm going out and running 8 minute pace for 10 miles, I think I'd rather be going a little faster, so 7:30 a mile, 7 minutes a mile, or if I'm on a recovery day, going slower. So Jared, that's a big question, and I appreciate, and I'm just going to keep monitoring the chat here in case any super chats come in. I'm going to keep, so anyway, that's how I personally define junk miles, is if the pace is just kind of that middle of the road pace. I'd rather be going a little faster or just slow and just letting my body totally recover. All right, and then we could also talk about volume, but maybe that'll be for another time. Jared, great question. Let's see. So I also promised, and by the way, tonight I failed to mention, I want to talk about YouTube and I want to talk about racing. And then we'll open it up for open Q&A. Brent, hello. And Zach, hello. Welcome, welcome. So I promised a couple days ago on the vlog that I would talk about, we're just going to let that fall, that I would talk about these Reebok shoes, and some of you voiced some concern about the price, and sure enough, they are very expensive, and these are the lightest running shoes I've ever owned. These are the Reebok Float Ride Run Fast Pros. The name is way too long. For me, for my sizing, they weigh 3 ounces. I think it's like 90 grams outside the US. $250 US. That's crazy. That's way too expensive. I would not pay that kind of money for these shoes. However, again, a shout out to the UK. I believe this company where I got those Reebok shoes, sportshoes.com. If you live in the UK, you probably know about this company, and basically I got a deal. I think they were about 25% off. They were like $175, which I realize is still a lot of money. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I did not pay full price. I would not pay full price for those shoes, $250. But there are places like sportshoes.com to find deals on running shoes. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. Yes, same as the 4%, $250. And like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Okay. So, I would love to field some questions from all of you, and again, thank you for being here. I would love to field some questions real quick about YouTube and what you all think about the creation process of daily vlogs. Or, for example, I'm getting quite a few emails about equipment. Yes, I will compare them, Matthew, those two shoes. But I'd love to talk to you just about YouTube and the experience of creating on a daily basis, of attempting to live stream on a weekly basis. And so what questions do you have for me in the chat? And I will do my best to answer as many as possible about YouTube, and whether it has to do with camera equipment or how I film my runs or whatever it might be. So I'll wait for them to come in here. Let's see. Yes, Blue Collar Runner, I can't wait for more daylight as well. Daniel, what was your secret to boosting your subs these recent months? Daniel, that is a great question. And for those that have been subscribed for a while, like I was around 1,000 subscribers, 9 months ago, and even 3 months ago, I think we were around like a little under 2,000. Well, Daniel, to answer your question, niching down to running focused daily vlogs is probably the #1 answer. Absolutely. I still try to incorporate family life. I still try to incorporate, living. Like, we're all runners, but we're trying to also balance running with work and with hobbies and with friends and with, all of the other things in life, going out to eat at restaurants and anyway, just living life. So Daniel, I'm trying to walk that line, but I would say niching down would be my answer. Good question. How long do your videos take to film and edit? Liam, that's a good question. Liam, I can edit most of the daily vlogs in about 2 hours these days. So like tonight, I will go inside after the live stream. Actually, I need to film more out here in the shed, and then I will go inside and I will stay up till a little too late tonight, but pretty late tonight editing. So about 2 hours for the editing. The filming, that's oh my goodness, it varies every single day. It can be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, I would say. So good question. Okay, do you ever feel like you are taking away from your run when you are also trying to film it? Scott, good question. Scott, so what I am beginning to do, when time allows it, Scott, is I will do my run. Just so you know, everybody, actually, I should show you, but I have a vest that I wear. I usually put it on every live stream. I should just wear it to the live stream every week. And basically, I'll stuff the GoPro into the vest. But what I'm trying to do now is do my run, and then I'll go back out for a 1.5 mile loop and get some of the shots. So that's a little trick of the trade so that I'm not carrying the camera the entire time. So yeah, that's a good question. Good question. Let's see. What other questions here in the chat? But no, Scott, I don't feel like it's taking away from my actual running and training. And I enjoy it. Like, obviously, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't enjoy it, because it does take time. What kind of drone do you use, and how much does it cost? That's from Chris. So I have a DJI Spark. It's a little tiny one. It actually can fit in my vest as well. How much are the... I think you can find the first generation for around $250 to $300 these days. So it's not cheap, but for I'm very impressed with the quality of the DJI Spark. That is the drone that I use. Good question. Okay. Would you be able to make a video on editing your vlogs from Riley? Perhaps, Riley. That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, that's gosh, we'll see, Riley. That's a good question. Do you use a Mac or Windows? So I'm a Mac guy. Sam, good question. What editing software do you use? So I use Final Cut Pro. I've dabbled in Adobe, in the Adobe suite, but I prefer Final Cut Pro because I'm very, very, very efficient with it. And at some point, I'll probably be forced to learn the Adobe interface, but I prefer Final Cut. Who is your favorite running YouTube channel? From Jason. Oh, Jason, you can't put me on the spot like that. You can't put me on the spot like that. I mean, here's the deal. Jason, as a creator and a runner, I'm just gonna say it right now. Like, unfortunately, I don't have a ton of extra time to watch a lot of other YouTube channels. I really don't. And okay, but my go-to is definitely Kofuzi, because I appreciate, you know, the daily upload. I certainly appreciate the beauty of Billy Yang, and who else? You know, gosh, yeah, I guess those would be the two that stand out to me at first. That's a good question. Holy guacamole. Okay, what is your favorite running shoe? Landry, I'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. I want to focus on YouTube questions right now. Have I heard of Zach Levette? I have, Sam. I have. Okay. Any other questions? And I know this topic is a pretty specific topic, but any other questions about YouTube or about how I create the vlogs? I'll be happy to answer a couple more before we move on to a few more questions from the shoebox. And yeah, just thank you for being here. Oh, I love to see you guys interacting in the chat box, by the way. How do you manage files of raw film? That's from Jared. So Jared, I upload all the raw files into my MacBook Pro, which is 1 terabyte of storage. And then every week, so every Friday night, I have to basically I have to export all of the raw files to an external hard drive, which are inside right now. And basically those external hard drives, I buy like 4 terabyte worth, and that'll last me maybe 3 months. And I save all of my raw files on external hard drives. So good question, Jared. Yeah. That's a good question. How's the GoPro 7 working for you? Daniel, it's epic. Actually, it's charging. I don't know if you can see it. Well, I'll just pull it off. It's charging. It's right here. Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely, it's really a game changer. That's for sure. I think the quality is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. My main camera, a Canon 5D. Thank you, Blue Collar Runner. So I love Canon. And so yeah, Canon 5D is the main camera that I use. Let's see. And I'm sorry if I'm missing some. Let's see. Do you feel weird walking into a room, setting up the camera, then walking back into the room like it was the first time? So, I don't feel weird, but I realize if you were seeing, and that's from Anthony, if you were seeing a behind the scenes of me filming the daily vlog, like, you would laugh. You would laugh, because yeah, and even on my runs, you know, I'll have to go run ahead on the trail, set up the camera, run backward, and then run back to get the camera, and then continue running. So I'm getting some good interval training in the middle of long runs. It's pretty funny. Let's see here. With all the importing and exporting you do, does your Mac have an SSD? Yes, Ben. It is a solid state drive, correct. And it's good. It's a 2015, so it's 3 years old, this MacBook Pro, but it's hanging in there. It's still doing great. And let's see. Butter my bread, butter my bread. You better believe it, Robert. Okay. Madan, how much time do you spend shooting your runs and sort which footage is good or bad? So I can film a pretty solid vlog run in 30 minutes. So like today I did 15 miles and I probably spent 4 minutes of time filming the run. You'll see it tomorrow. I didn't film that much today. And basically, again, it's just knowing the angles, where I want to set the camera up. Okay, 4 minutes is an exaggeration, but it was probably like 8 minutes. And it was snowing today in Denver, so I didn't take as much time because it was freezing out. But yeah, good question. It can vary, but I can get a pretty solid video done in about 30 minutes at the most. And, you know, if I send the drone up in the sky, that'll add maybe 10 minutes to the overall filming. So anyway, there's just different tricks that I've learned along the way. So at some point, I will make a behind the scenes how to film your run vlog. All right, good question. Let's see here. Sam, do I do YouTube full time? I do not. But maybe someday, Sam. Who knows? We'll see what we have. If that is in the card. I must say, I would love to. But listen, it's a competitive field out there. There's a lot of running YouTube channels out there, a lot of great creators, and I am up for the challenge, and I'm frankly amped because you're here, and I think we can do this. And as the channel continues to grow, and as we continue to be consistent in the daily vlogs, which I've got that down, and the weekly live streaming, which we're working on, I think we can do it. But I would love to put even more time into this channel, but you gotta balance your life at times as well, is what I'm trying to say. And Brent, was the drone hard for you to control at first? It's pretty intuitive actually, Brent, and it's actually very easy to fly once you get it. I mean, you could teach yourself in an hour and you would have it down like that. Like, it's a very easy drone to fly. Okay. Let's see. Okay, thank you so much. Scott, has YouTube been profitable? We'll see. We'll see. Scott, good question. That's a topic for another day. Gosh, it helps. Scott, I'll just put it this way. It helps buy running shoes to test about for you. I'll just leave it at that. All right, I'm going to take a drink, and I do want to dive into now the next topic for the evening, and that is racing. Thank you, Runner Mom Hall. I'm glad you enjoy the footage. So start thinking of questions for racing. I'm going to take a drink, and then I'm going to get some more questions out of the New Balance box. But start thinking of questions for racing. I'd love to hold on. I'd love to dive in. I'm just reading some comments here. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. All right, I'm grabbing the box here. New Balance is getting a lot of free promotion since I've chosen this one to be the box of choice for the questions that are sent to me on Instagram and email. Okay, wow, this is perfect. This is from Riley, and this is a good segue, Riley, right into the next topic about racing. So he asks, what are some racing tactics for the half marathon and marathon? Thank you for that, Riley. So racing tactics for the half marathon and marathon. Riley, you may not know this. I've never raced a road marathon. That's going to happen in Cleveland in May 19th. And so I will have more answers for you. But I would say, I love to take races out pretty hard, but I also am not afraid to test the waters for about, like for example, in a 5K, I'll sit back for maybe 3/4 of a mile to a mile and just kind of see how listening for everyone else's breathing around me. And if everyone else is breathing and it's labored, you can kind of hear them breathing hard, that's good. That means you might be able to leave them behind and you might be able to start pushing the pace. And so I would recommend knowing what pace you want to run. So whether it's, 550 a mile or 750 a mile, whatever level of fitness you're at, tuck yourself into that pace and listen to the breathing around you. And I know it's a little crazy, so it means no headphones, and you just listen. And you'll be able to tell if people, and you also kind of look at people's heads, if their heads are like wobbling a little bit, like, just like, you don't want to go out too hard. I'll put it that way. But I'm a big fan. That would be one of my racing tactics, Riley, is to listen for the breathing of people around you. And if they're like not breathing at all and you're starting to breathe a little hard, you might need to back it off a little bit and not go with them at that particular point. Also, the art of negative splitting is always good. So that would be another. And thank you for all the chats that are coming in about this. So anyway, that's good. Okay, let's see here. Anyway, hopefully I answered your question, Riley. Let's see. How far would you run the day before a race in high school? That's from Liam. Let's see, Liam, I would probably do 3 miles at the most. If it's like a shakeout run, I would do like a 1.5 mile warm-up, stretch, and then a mile cool down. Yeah, and strides to get that turnover going. Depends on the distance a little bit, Liam, but that would be, I would say, 2.5 to 3 miles. Just, definitely, you don't want to tire yourself out. Okay, let me just see here. What high school did I run for? Buena Vista High School in Colorado. That's right, up in the mountains. Okay, any other questions about racing? I'm just trying to see here. How do you calm race day nerves when you toe the line if you experience them? And that's from Jason. Jason, very rarely do I have nerves on the race, on the starting line. I will say though, Jason, I bet I do have nerves at the marathon in May in a good way. So I think nerves, I think it's actually a really good sign if you have a little bit of nerves, because it means you maybe picked, it means you may have picked a really good race to peak for and to work really hard for, and the energy of everyone around you, like, we are human beings, we're going to feel a little bit of nerves. So, I would say, like, don't let it go to your head too much. It's, keep it, if you need to increase your breathing so that you stay as calm as possible, but definitely channel that I don't want to call it nervousness, but channel those nerves to that moment where you're just standing on the starting line and enjoying, like, the entire, all of the people around you, all of the fans around you. And I will say, like, as soon as that gun goes off, those nerves are going to go away, like they always do. So, anyway, I think it's actually an okay thing to have some nerves. Good question, Jason. And, yeah, but I would say breathing, just breathe. Just, deep, if you need to take a couple deep breaths, and I know it's probably a cliche answer, but anyway, good question. Okay. From Tanner, on the week, let's see. Uh-oh, I lost it, Tanner. Let's see here. Oh, boy. Okay, on the week of a race, do you run during that week or take it easy and rest, or do you do low mileage? And he's talking maybe about an ultra race. So, Tanner, I like to taper 10 days out. So, a little more than a week, but a little less than 2 weeks. So, 10 days out, I start to taper. So, if I have a race on a Saturday, I'll start to taper on the Wednesday or Thursday of the week before. And just basically start running less mileage and adding in a little more strides and making sure my legs are nice and loose. But yeah, good question, Tanner. All right, they're coming in fast. I'm trying to keep up here. Let's see, from Zach, track spikes or racing flats for indoor track spikes. Depends on the track, but most tracks allow spikes, I do believe. But yeah, track spikes. I would, if you want to go as fast as possible. Jared, what is a tune-up race and how do you apply it to a race build-up? That's a great question, Jared. I mean, for a marathon, I would say if you can do a 10-mile race or a half marathon, oh goodness, I would say like a month before. Even a 10K. A 10K would be okay as well. but it's basically a tune-up race. Helps you figure out, okay, this is where I feel comfortable at this pace, and of course your tune-up race is going to be shorter than your actual race. So like I used to run 1,500 meter races to get ready for a 5K race. And the idea was to get that turnover going and get those legs moving at a faster clip. And so like for the marathon in May, for me, I don't think I can like fly across the country to go do a half marathon tune-up race. I would love to, but I just, you got to pinch the pennies. I don't think I can afford to travel twice. So I'll probably, Jared, I actually don't know yet, but it's probably going to be 3.5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks out from the marathon. I'm going to do a half marathon tune-up time trial here in Denver. So hopefully that answers your question. Good question, Jared. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, I'm missing some. I'm missing some. Okay, do you believe there's a downfall in overtraining for a race? That's from Madan. Absolutely, I do. You can overtrain and you can undertrain, right? Oh, hold on. Okay, you can overtrain and you can undertrain, and so but you want to. Sorry, a box just fell and it kind of distracted me. You want to be fresh at the starting line, but you also want to be fit. So it is walking that line, and how do you determine that? I mean, it's definitely knowing thyself, listening to your body. I would say some signs would be is that if you are struggling like to get out of bed in the morning, that might be really struggling. Then that's definitely like whether you're overtired or your legs are like barking at you and they're like, I am in serious pain now. That might be a sign that you are overtrained. And I've definitely experienced that in my running career. So good question, Madan. Yeah, you can overtrain for sure. Okay, let's see here. Welcome back, Kurt. Sylvain, would I consider being sponsored? That's a racing question. Good question. I would consider it. But as I mentioned, I think at the last live stream, I wouldn't be able to review all of these running shoes for you. I mean, gosh, I'm not at that level. I'm close, but I'm not quite at that level. We'll see what I do in the marathon. If I can, oh my goodness, if I can run, I'd have to run like fast. Because so many guys are fast these days, and ladies, of course. I'd have to run under, I'm just going to call it like under 2:15, I would say. And I don't know if I'm quite that fast for a marathon. So good question, Sylvain. And let's see, I know I missed a couple up here. And let's see, they're coming in. How long were your long runs in high school? From Liam. Liam, 8 miles. And I should have been running longer, Liam. I think a good long run for a high schooler is 10 and definitely no more than 12. So yeah, good question, Liam. Okay, let's see here. And thank you. Oh my goodness. All right, let's share this link again because we are almost at 100 people watching. At least that's what I'm seeing on my screen. Let's share this link around if you haven't shared it yet. See if we can get over that 100 person watching mark. And thanks for being here, by the way. All right, let's take another question from the box. All right, here we go. And oh, I like this. We'll mix it up real quick. What are some hobbies you have outside of running? I'll answer that real quick. That's from Matthew. And Matthew, I wish I had a lot of great answers for you there. First of all, of course, I'm busy with life, with work, but I enjoy photography. Obviously, videography has kind of come to guide my life, and that's what I really enjoy. My passion is cinematography. I used to snowboard when I was in high school and college. I love snowboarding. And in the summertime, definitely camping. Actually, believe it or not, Matthew, it's a good question, but I enjoy landscaping. I just enjoy being out in the yard and taking care of the yard. If you've watched a lot of the old vlogs, I love just taking care of the yard and mowing and planting trees and just making the outdoor space really nice to live in. Anyway, so good question, Matthew. And welcome, Jules. Welcome, Joey. Welcome, Scott. Welcome, Kyle. Stefan. And Stefan asked, how much longer are you going to run competitively? Stefan, that is a great question. I am 33 years old, born in 1985. Go 1985. If you are a 1985 baby, let me know down in the, or over in the chat or down in the comments. So, Stefan, this year in Colorado, there's 100-mile races here in Colorado. There's the Hard Rock 100, there's the Leadville 100, and there's the Run Rabbit Run 100. Those are kind of the big three. Here's the winners. Here's the winners. Hard Rock 100, Jeff Browning, 47 years old. Leadville 100 this year, in 2018, sorry. The winner, Rob Krar, I believe he's 42, 43. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then we're going to go with Run Rabbit Run 100, which I raced and dropped out at mile 49 or 50. So that was won by Jason Schlarb, and I believe he is 41 or 40. So, to answer your question, Stefan, I plan to race a long time. And listen, I want to get faster. I want to run a fast marathon. I'm 33. If Jeff Browning is running 100-mile races and winning them at 47, boom. That gives me 14 years of racing left. So good question, Stefan. I mean, I think the age ceiling is being pushed higher and higher. So good question. Okay. What is the longest you've ever ran? Well, Landry, I mean, I did some pretty crazy, I did some 40-mile training runs last year, which is maybe a little too long. I really loved running forever. And then at the Run Rabbit Run race, I ran 49 or 50 miles and then I quit. So anyway, those are my long runs. Runner's Roost sponsorship. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, they don't get a lot of free shoes, right? Can we go for group runs if we're in Denver? James, absolutely. Oh my goodness. And thank you for being here. Okay, let's see. Oh, thanks for everyone chiming in when you were born. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Would you shoot a short running documentary in the future? From Jules. I would. In fact, I am hoping to go down to the Hard Rock 100 this summer, 2019, and filming it and making a documentary and making it epic. So, Jules, good question. That is the goal for 2019, is to make a documentary about the Hard Rock 100. This is from Jordan. Welcome, Jordan. Jordan is also a fellow YouTuber. So, hey Seth, during your fastest races, did you feel like it was going to be a fast race, or did it just happen? Would love to hear from you. Jordan, good question. One of the best races of my life was in Boulder, Colorado, on the cross-country team. It was an 8K race, so a little over 5 miles, and I ended up taking second place on the University of Colorado cross-country team. It was a big deal. Like, I beat, like, usually I was in the 7 to 10 place range on my team, and I ended up second. And Jordan, I would say it did kind of just happen. It at a certain point though, Jordan, I would say at like mile 2.5, I was like, oh, I feel good, and everybody else around me doesn't seem to be doing so well. Let's go. So Jordan, I didn't like go into the race feeling like, okay, I'm gonna crush this. It definitely was about a little less than halfway. I was like, okay, this might be my day. Let's rock and roll. So hopefully that answers your question, Jordan. Good question. Okay, so let's see. I'm laughing at some of your chats here. Matthew, are you going to do a pre-race meetup? Maybe that would be a good time for a group run. And I guess I don't know what race you're talking about, Matthew, but for the Cleveland race, I would love to meet all of you. It probably would be after the race. I think downtown Cleveland, let's meet up. We'll go, I don't know, we'll go get appetizers somewhere, go get a drink. Maybe they have a post-race party in Cleveland in May. We will see. Okay. Now, if you have any other questions, about racing, now is the time to ask them in the chat. And there's been some really good ones. I'm going to Seth, what is your Snapchat? It's just Seth James DeMoor. I don't actually really know how to find people on Snapchat that well. Emiliano, thank you for asking that. I am on Snapchat. Seth James DeMoor, all spelled out. Hopefully that finds me. Good question. I would love to connect with you there. Okay, let's see here. I'm pulling out from the box as questions come in about racing. All right, so what do we got here? When tapering, what adjustment should be made to weight training? Keep it the same, do less. That is from Matthew. Matthew, great question, and that ties in perfectly for this topic. I would say, Matthew, okay, good one. Logan, a super chat. I'll come back to it in a second, Logan. I would say for the weight training that if you are racing on Saturday, so usually in college, we would lift on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now, as a 33-year-old, I am trying to get into the gym 3 days a week, 2 days a week for lifting, 1 day a week for like maintenance, stretching, rolling out, getting in the pool, just like maintenance, trying to be as loose and limber as possible. If you're racing on Saturday, I would, the last time I would lift is on Monday. And so that gives your day Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, basically 4 days to fully recover from the lift before the race on Saturday. And yes, I would drop the weight down a little bit. Maybe keep the reps about the same, but I would definitely drop the weight down. And probably put a little emphasis on making sure you're nice and stretched out. You don't want to pull anything. I've seen that happen as well, where people will do extra stretching before their race and they end up pulling something. So you don't want to do that. But that would be my recommendation. Is Mondays would be the last day before the race. Okay, good questions coming in. Thank you, everybody. And again, I will definitely hit every super chat. I just, we can't get to every single question, but it's amazing. Trevor, Scott, Dylan, Julio, let's see, Kurt, Robert, Anthony, Carl. Oh my goodness. Okay, Logan, how do you race a mile? Good question from Logan. Logan, 1 second. I had to take a drink. So, Logan, I haven't raced a mile in quite some time. It's obviously, it's a fast race, so you got to keep that in mind. People are going to take it out hard, and there's probably going to be a couple guys that can close pretty hard. My brother was always a solid closer in high school when he was running the mile. I was pretty good. My sprinting speed wasn't amazing. Therefore, Logan, I would, when you're on the starting line, I would take it out hard the first 30 to 50 meters. That's it. Take it out hard. Why? So you can get to that inside corner, okay? Because the closer you are to the inside of the track, the less distance you're going to be running for the overall race. If you're in lane 2 or lane 3 or 4 sometimes, you're running more distance because you're pushed out further into the track. So take it out hard, 30 to 50 meters, settle in. Settle in. So from 50 meters to 600 meters to go. So I prefer to start my kick. It's not really my kick, but I like to settle in for that middle part of the race, and then from 600 meters to go, so a lap and a half, I start to move. Not kick, but start to pick it up. And basically, by the time you have 1 lap to go, I want, because I'm more of an endurance runner rather than, let's say, a speed guy, I want to make everybody really hurt the last 200 to 300 meters. So if I start picking up the pace with 600 to go, 300 meters later, I'm going to be able to listen to everyone around me and be like, okay, this guy sounds fresh. This guy's about to die. It's time to rock and roll with basically 200 meters to go for me. And some guys, like, yeah, I usually needed to start moving, like, my kick at 200 meters because I knew for a fact that I could not outkick a lot of guys if I started too late in the race. Thank you, Logan, for the super chat. I hope that helps. We could talk about that racing tactic for a long time. That's a great question. Oh, it gets me going, man. Okay, let's see here. Oh, what other questions? Let's see. Okay, oh my goodness, another one. This is from Julio. You ran an hour 19 at the Houston Half Marathon? That is amazing. Good work, Julio. You are fast, man. Congrats, Julio. That's a super chat that just came in. Oh, I wish I could have been there racing alongside you, Julio. Good work, Julio. Okay, and now we're going to say, I saw one come in from, I think, Anthony. Has your attitude toward training and racing changed from when you trained on a school team versus training mostly alone now? Has my attitude toward training and racing, Anthony, I would say that my attitude has become even, I want to say almost even more driven because I don't have a coach. I don't have teammates around me. And so it really is self-driven where, now listen, I was very motivated in college, very motivated. But yeah, I don't know. Like my attitude is I want to do well. I want to race, you know, against the best and just put myself out there on the line and try. Like I've raced some of the best mountain runners in the world. I haven't beaten too many of them yet. In fact, really none of the best. But I'm trying, and like the Pikes Peak Ascent is in August of 2019 down in Colorado Springs. That's like my peak race for 2019, and I'm going to be gunning for it in that race, Anthony. So good question. Oh gosh, got me excited. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Julio, what are some tips after mile 10.5? I'm assuming, Julio, you're talking about the half marathon. Oh, goodness, Julio. I mean, what are some tips? So, Julio, I haven't raced a ton of half marathons on the road, and I love all these questions coming in about racing. It gets me excited. Julio, Julio, just so you know, I'm an ultra runner, so long distance 50K runner that is coming back in distance in 2019 to race shorter. So like half marathon and marathon, what is considered shorter compared to ultra running. And I would say though, Julio, like for me, I am really trying to focus on, in 2019, my plyometrics, so my running form, and making sure that my running form is not breaking down late in the race. Like in a 5K and a 10K, like you get tired, you get really tired, but like half marathon and marathon, that's where your form, and like when you start leaning to the side and like your arms are doing this across your body and like you're just like really struggling with your running form, that's when things get really bad. So Julio, I would recommend working on your plyometrics, your running form. I need to create some videos on plyometrics, which, just so everyone knows, plyometrics for my current training block is going to start next week. Today, I did strides for the first time in 2019. Hooray! So that means we're starting to work on a little bit of turnover. And then another point, Julio, I would just say, the faster you run to the faster you run, the quicker the pain is over, right? I know that's like a cliche way to approach it, but sometimes I do tell myself that mentally, like, okay, this really hurts, but if I slow down, it might hurt even more because I'm going to be in pain for longer. So the faster I get to that finish line, the quicker the pain is over. All right, good question, Julio. Thank you for the super chats, plural. All right, what other questions we got coming in here in the chat? What is true? Let's see, from James. I don't know if True Love has ever raced a 5K. She's raced a half marathon though. Woohoo, True Love. Yeah, she crushed a half marathon out in Moab, Utah. But anyway, how many tempo runs are you incorporating into your marathon training? That's from Chris. Chris, a lot. Chris, I love tempo runs. I love workouts. I like fartleks. I think speed training is important. I love uphill running, as you know. But Chris, I'm telling you, like finding your threshold with tempo runs and pushing the limits slowly over months and months of training, like I'm a big fan. My brother and I, we're both really big fans of tempo runs. So good question, Chris. Okay, I'm drawing from the box again. Here we go. Jared, oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to come back to that one because it's not quite on topic. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Oh, this is a shoe related. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Hold on. Okay. All right, maybe that one. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Do you do anything specifically to make yourself mentally stronger? That's from Trevor. And Trevor, I've actually been thinking about this quite a bit in the last couple days. And Trevor, I really am a big fan of putting myself into uncomfortable situations. Okay, for example, I am not good at the technical side of video production, meaning I don't know all the ins and outs of live streaming. But after the failure last night, I told myself, okay, that was uncomfortable. That was no fun. There was a lot of people here ready to watch live, and I did not get to go live for them. So therefore, over the last 24 hours, I put myself in discomfort by saying, okay, I need to teach myself how to live stream so that doesn't happen again. And so anyway, to connect that to running, I would say putting yourself in uncomfortable training situations. For example, I don't love doing 800-meter repeats on a track or 1K repeats on a track. But guess what? I know that for the marathon, I'm going to need to get on a track and do some speed work. And like, I would rather go run up in the mountains. I'd rather do that all the time. But I know if I want to run my best in the marathon, I'm going to have to do speed training. So anyway, that's a long answer to your question, but putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, because then you're mentally like, okay, that was no fun at the beginning, but guess what? I accomplished the goal, and right now, we're live streaming, and now mentally I'm like, okay, I think we can do this again next week. Oh, gosh. Hopefully that answers your question. Good question. Okay. Jumping back into the live chat here. Finding comfort in the uncomfortable. That's right, Jason. Okay, Robert, I see all your questions coming in about the food. Favorite fast food? It's hard to beat Chick-fil-A, and it's hard to beat Wendy's. I'd say those are my top two. I love Wendy's and Chick-fil-A, just putting it out there. Okay, Kurt, you love track repeats. That's amazing. Let's see here. Yup, good, Ian. I like your work out there. That's looking good. Okay, I'm going to dive into another paper question that came in through. Again, if you have questions for me for the next week's live stream, email them to me. And this is from David from Northamptonshire, England. On a 2-week running break right now, following your lead, Seth, I'm so desperate to get out again and into my first ultra training block. You're keeping me going during downtime. David. Okay, so that was not a question. That was just a statement. David, I'm glad. Thank you. And I think this is actually a little old, so you're probably already back to training. So hopefully, if you're watching, let me know in the chat or down in the comments. Okay. Let's see here. Sloan, where can I find a running coach? Online. And then this is from Jared. Jared, I think you're listening. Basically, what are the benefits to getting a certified running coach? Is it worth getting a running coach? So, I must say, I am getting quite a few emails and inquiries about coaching. And here's where I'm at with coaching, just so everybody knows. And Sloan, I'll get to... Hey, Sloan, I'll get to your question. Basically, I've had some pretty good success with coaching in the past. Okay, so next week on the live stream, it sounds like I'm going to be able to interview my brother, who finished very, very well very high at Foot Locker, and I was his coach, and we did well. And I would love to be a coach for many of you. But what I'm struggling with is that, first of all, I have a regular job, I have the family, but if I were to do coaching in a really intentional way, I don't think I would be able to continue to create really solid daily running videos. As I always say, there's only 24 hours in a day. Listen, it's on my radar. True Love and I are talking about this whole coaching thing. I would love to, but there's only 24 hours in a day. And as a 33-year-old, I've learned over time not to overstretch yourself, okay? So stay tuned. And Jared, to answer your question, so Sloan, let's see, what was your first question? Where can I find a running coach online? Sloan, if you email me, I will help direct you in the right direction depending on what your situation is. And Jared, I think, Jared, there are some coaches out there, I would say, especially at the high school level, that don't know what they're doing. And that can be really bad. But there's also now a lot of research out there, a lot of experience out there in the running world and coaching world, that I would say there are a lot of great coaches out there now. And Jared, I think one, like, benefits of having a coach: motivation and accountability and encouragement. And I think, like, I could bring those three things to the table for a lot of people. But if you are very self-motivated, I don't know if you need a coach. Now, if you do have like really specific goals for the marathon, for the 5K, for the 10K, yeah, I could see a coach benefiting. I really could. Oh man, you guys are getting me going. You're getting me going. All right, True Love and I are going to have a big conversation about coaching soon. All right, diving back into the chat here. Woo, from Daniel. How's the Strava running group coming and when? Oh, Daniel, thank you for asking that and holding me accountable. Daniel, it's been really, okay. Maybe I'm downplaying the intensity of creating a daily video, but it is time intensive. It's taxing, and I think I've narrowed the names down, Daniel, just to answer your question, and thank you for the super chat, Daniel, to 2 or 3. Daniel, I'm just going to say it now. Hold me accountable, YouTube. Hold me accountable, YouTube. Next week, at the live stream, I will announce the Strava running group, the name and everything. And therefore, we can all start to connect there. Oh, all right, Daniel, I'm excited. You got me. Hold me accountable to that. Next week, I will have it all set up. We'll have, a photo on there. We'll get it all going. That will be amazing. Thank you, Daniel, for that question and for, yeah, thank you for that. Yes, okay, thank you. All right, and okay, I'm diving back into the chat here. So, Sloan, just so you know, on the home page of the desktop version of YouTube, you can click on the About section, and then my email is under there, all right? Just so you know. Okay, keep them coming, all right, let me dive into 1 or 2 more. Actually, I take that back. You know what happened here? Okay, 1 second. Man, you all are amazing. And okay, I think I had, let me just see here. I think we had a question come in on Instagram from Justin. Here you go. Here's a question for your live stream. Justin, thank you for this on Instagram. And yes, I would love to connect with all of you on Instagram. And guess what? Messaging on Instagram is pretty amazing. So I'm really pretty good at getting back to you. What do you think is the best overall affordable running shoe for beginning runners? And Justin, affordable, that's a big basket. And so whether it's $90, $60, $120, like, I don't know what you define as affordable. I would say, hold on. I would say the Nike Pegasus 35 is a pretty affordable beginning running shoe. I love this shoe. I don't run in it too much at this point because I'm running it, like, I love the New Balance Beacons, but this guy will be more affordable. So this is the Nike Pegasus 35. And then if you want to go really affordable, I would say the Skechers Go Run Ride 7, the GRR 7 Skechers. And I know like Skechers, it's like, who knew that they made running shoes? But I've actually, I've had some pretty good success in my Skechers shoes. So, sorry, I'm just looking at the chat here. So that would be my answer, Skechers or the Nike Pegasus 35. And everybody else, if you're watching this, comment down below and let us know what you would consider an affordable introductory running shoe. Good question. Jared, I do still have the Clifton 5s. I know, it's been a long time. I know. Oh, so many shoes, so little time. Okay, another question from from Instagram. Oh my goodness, where is it? I think it was from Jason. Here we go. Here is my question for the New Balance shoe box for tonight. I didn't put it in the box, Jason, but he asked, as a former college runner who took a long break from running after college, I have put on some unwanted weight. As I am getting back into my training, running about 40 to 50 miles a week. That's solid, Jason. That's really solid. Now I'm having trouble getting back down to my old race weight, 140 pounds. Any tips on how to best cut weight as I train for my first ever half and full marathon? That is from Jason, and I think a lot of us could probably relate to, you know, putting on a little weight after college. And listen, that's part of like being a human, is like as our metabolism decreases as we get older. So Jason, let's see. Consistency. So it sounds like you're being pretty consistent. 40 to 50 miles a week is really good. Certainly, Jason, of course, like I don't know what your diet is. I'm not a fan of like changing my eating in order to lose weight. But in the summertime, you know, True Love and I, we love eating salads a lot with chicken. And I'd say like that's like one of our go-to meals. Jason, I did give up beer. I did not drink any beer in 2018, and I could kind of feel it. I didn't, and it was not for to try and lose weight. I just basically wanted to see if I could do it, and sure enough, like I feel like I trimmed up pretty good. And listen, I'm not saying give up beer, but I am saying maybe it's like, you know, you cut back a beer a week if you like beer. And then, Jason, the easy answer is run more. But I say that with a grain of salt because you could, you know, if you increased your mileage by 10 miles a week, I bet you would see results really quickly. And, okay, I know I'm saying a lot. One last thing, I don't know if you are active outside of running, but like, and I don't know if you are married with kids or whatever, but like staying active with your kids, like chasing them around the house, chasing them in the yard. For me, yard work in the summertime especially, it keeps me kind of fit, like doing yard work and just being as active as possible, or walking to the post office. I digress. Good question, Jason, from Instagram. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any comments in the chat about maybe losing weight a little bit, you know, we all go through that. This is part of being a human being. So, Jason, love that, love you. Okay, let's see here. So James, and so, okay, I should just say it's 8 o'clock. We've been going for an hour. It's amazing. We started on time. Beautiful. You all are amazing for being here. And basically, let's open it up. And we've kind of already opened it up, but let's open it up for complete live chat, Q&A. Ask anything about running, about life, about YouTube, about whatever you want to ask me. And so I'm just going to dive into just the chat now, and I might go a little faster with these answers. Okay, I saw one come in from James. There it is. I'm going to run at Nebraska next year. Congrats. Even though I'm a Buffalo, I will say congrats to you. Do you have any tips to adjust from high school to college? James, I would say you're going to be tired. Your legs are going to be tired. And I don't know what your mileage is right now. I would really, you really need to sleep at least 8 hours a night. And I would recommend if you can pull off 9 hours a night, that will be incredibly beneficial for you, James. And James, I would really work on massaging and stretching. It's all about the maintenance in college so that you don't get injured. If you can stay consistent in your training in college, it will pay off huge dividends. Good question, James. Let's see here. All right, Brent, signing off. Thank you for being here. Favorite movie from Scott? Oh man, Scott, I mean, how do you beat like a Shawshank Redemption? Like, I mean, it's like, I love Shawshank. I know that's kind of an intense movie, but good question from Scott. I love it. All right, I'm just trying to go here, Favorite food? I love, in the summertime, I love grilling. So I'll like grill steak or salmon on the grill. That's probably a favorite food. Let's see here. Do I ever work out my upper body? Yup, I do. I did some pull-ups today. Good question. Okay. What mile time would you need in high school to run D1 in college? From Liam. Liam, I think you would need to run, gosh, I think it's at least like 4:15 to 4:20 these days. Oh my goodness, Liam, you're putting me on the spot. No, it's even faster than that. I think it's faster than that. Sorry. It's fast. I would say sub 4:10. Goodness. Sorry I don't know that. But yeah, it's fast. Okay. Ever consider a race north of the border? In Canada, maybe Manitoba. We have a great flat one. Chris, I would love to. Good question. I would love to race around the world. And yes, I would consider going to Canada. Let's see. Let's see here. You think it's 4:25, Ian? I don't know. To be like a strict... Sorry, I was approaching that question from like, if you're going to specialize in the mile, you need to be really fast. But if you're a 5K runner that can run 4:25, yeah, you're set to go. Okay, let's see here. Podcast or ebook while running? Jason, podcast. I haven't found a good way. Could you comment again and let me know, how do you listen to ebooks? I would love to know. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. I'm just jumping in here. Okay, that's good, Liam. I know a kid committed to Stanford who runs 4:18 and 1:52. Nice. Okay, there we go. So we're in the ballpark. Yes, blue-collar runner. We've got a lot in common. I love it. Okay, Baylor. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I was wondering what your PRs were as you progressed through high school. That's from Baylor. And Baylor, I'll just say this much. And I actually have a vlog about this, about all my PRs, Baylor. Basically, I was not incredibly fast in high school. And I'm not saying I got real fast in college, but I definitely got faster. Basically, Baylor, I'm not sure I was coached well enough or to my full potential in high school. I'm just saying, I'm just calling it as it is. I don't think my volume was quite high enough, and I loved my coaches, don't get me wrong, but I think I could have been pushed harder. And so, I mean, my 5K PR in high school was 16:27, which is a good time, but it's not going to get you on a D1 school. At a D1 school. So that's why I had to walk on to the University of Colorado after training myself for a year solo in Boulder my freshman year. So anyway, go check out the vlog all about my PRs. I think you'll enjoy it. Good question. Okay, let's see here. I'm a podcast guy, Jason. Yep. Okay. Have you ever had a bad habit that hurt your running? Jared. Oh man, Jared. A bad habit that hurt my running. I mean, like sometimes I like to smoke a pipe, but I don't think that would hurt my running. Like obviously, if I'm a chain smoker, like that wouldn't be good. But Jared, gosh, okay, not stretching enough. I'll just say that. Like that's my bad habit. Yeah, not stretching enough. Good question. Oh my goodness. Okay. Carl, I do fundraising, Carl, for a nonprofit and basically manage media. I'm like a producer for a nonprofit for media. So anyway, good question, Carl. Dylan asks, what's your favorite running workout? Dylan, I mean, okay, uphill running 14,000 foot mountains is the easy answer, but I really, really enjoy tempo runs. I really enjoy tempo runs. Let's see here. With plantar, okay, from Dokut Agurin, with plantar fasciitis, is it better to in the afternoon? Is it better to? I think you're asking, is it better to run in the afternoon, evening than morning? I would probably say like mid-morning. Yeah, letting that plantar fasciitis warm up a little bit. Yeah, so that's a good question. I would say mid-morning, because then by the end of the day, sometimes the plantar fasciitis can be a little, it can be barking at you, if you know what I mean. So I would say mid-morning to midday if you can, but you may just need to come up with a different game plan if it's hurting that much. Good question. Oh my goodness, they're coming in. Okay, Jamie. Hey Seth, I completed marathon 4 of 52 today. Only 48 to go. So Jamie is a fellow runner and YouTuber in the UK. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie, but I believe he's trying to run 1 marathon per week for 2019. Jamie, that's amazing. Congrats. Oh, love it. FKT on beer stat, right, Seth? Yeah, so for everyone in Colorado especially, so there's FKTs, our fastest known times, and this is from Jason. Basically, I have the fastest known time for Mount Bierstadt and for Long's Peak, or sorry, Mount Bierstadt and Gray's Peak. And my goal in 2019 is to get 2 more, so I would love to get maybe Mount Elbert, but it's really fast by, who had it, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. VO2 Max Productions, Sage, sorry. So Mount Elbert, and then I'm going to go for Long's Peak as well, and then of course race the Pikes Peak Ascent. So, okay, let's see. What running shoes are you going to get for the boys as promised in last week's vlog? From James. Boom, James. James, you're not going to believe it. I found, so we're going to get them some Speed Cross shoes, Solomon Speed Cross for the trails. I found some little kid Solomon Speed Cross. So the miniature version of this guy up in Carbondale, Colorado, where my brother lives. So I'm going to go race on March 9th, a vertical kilometer race up a ski mountain. And basically, I'm going to buy them some little kid Solomon Speed Cross shoes. Now, these will be their trail shoes. If they want to go run some trails with me, I will also at some point get them some road shoes. And listen, they're 5 and 6, so we're not going to take this seriously, but they are showing some interest, and I think it'll be fun. So, good question. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Andrew Hamilton has Long's FKT, doesn't he? Or is it Cave Dog? No, I don't think it's Andrew Hamilton. Okay, you might be talking about Up and Down. I don't know who has it, Jason. I think it's on Strava, and it might be on fastestknowntimes.com. Okay, let's see here. What else is in here? Okay, so James, yeah, just talking about the getting into Nebraska. Okay, so we've been going for a while tonight. I know I want to respect your time. Thank you for being here. Any last questions? Now is your moment. Any question that comes in from here on out, I will answer. Basically, next week, the goal is to live stream. I will be working hard over the next 6 days to make sure we don't have any technical difficulties. And yes, the plan is to have my brother, Joseph DeMoor, on the live stream. We're going to interview him for 30 minutes and then talk open Q&A for 30 minutes. He's fast, and he's doing some fast running now. And anyway, I just love my brother, and I can't wait to have him on, and for all of you to ask questions, especially the high schoolers out there. This will be your moment, because he got really, okay, I'll tell you one PR. He ran 9:04 for the 2 mile, a true 2 mile in high school. So, pretty fast dude. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Any last thoughts here coming in? You're welcome, Jules. My new favorite hour of the week. Oh, you're the best, Scott. Sent you an email, Seth. Hit me up. Jason, I saw the email. I didn't get to answer yet because we had to deal with this live stream business. It's crazy. But Jason, I saw it, and yes is an answer, just so you know. Way to go, Seth. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Carl, Marathon Nutrition Vest. Any recommendations? Okay, Carl, I have seen some advertisements. I don't own it, Carl, but I've seen some pretty good advertisements from Ultimate Direction for a marathon vest. So, good question, Carl. I would look into that. Ultimate Direction marathon vest. Great question, Carl, but I want to test it, maybe. This was fun. Awesome, Jordan. You're the best. Hope to check out the next one live. Boom. Jordan, and go check out Jordan's channel, everybody. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Have I tried Spring Nutrition? I have not yet, Blue Collar Runner. What is my favorite university major? I studied history. I love history. I love storytelling. I did not study broadcasting, as you might be able to tell sometimes. Mexico! All right, thank you, Jason. I think that's about it. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here. Now I just got to figure out how to turn this live stream off. Maybe we'll just keep it running till next week, huh? How's that sound? How's that sound? All right. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next week.